Okay, sir. So I welcome Dr. Amrish Srivastava, sir, as the session chair. So let me first introduce to all of you the Amrish Srivastava, sir. Dr. Amrish Srivastava is a psychiatrist and professor emeritus at Western University, London, Ontario, Canada. He is also an adjunct scientist at the Lawson Health Research Institute and a fellow of the Royal College of Psychiatry, United Kingdom, the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Canada, and the American Psychiatric Association. He has over 40 years of experience in clinical, academic, and administrative positions in India, UK, and Canada, working with various organizations in the field of mental health education, service delivery and development, research, and private practice. Dr. Srivastava's main area of interest include suicide prevention, early intervention, and complex mental disorder. He has published extensively on these topics, as well as on knowledge translation and mental health literature of people. He has served as an editor, reviewer, and member of the editorial board of several psychiatric journals and books. He has also developed two psychometric scales, the instrument for suicide risk assessment and the scale for quantification of stigma. Some of his notable publications are Suicide from a Global Perspective. It was a reference book, which is in the 5 volumes. Schizophrenia Treatment Outcome, Handbook on Optimizing Patient Care in Psychiatry, Mind Matters, The Science of Success, The Battle Within, a book for peaceful living in turbulent times, a non-fiction book for people, expected by October 2023. It must be published now. He has also written several books in Hindi, for example, for people such as Dard Ka Safar, Kamyabiyan, and Rishte Anchal Ke. Dr. Srivastava has received prestigious research and service awards from professional organizations, hospitals, and universities in India, United States, and Canada. He is passionate about developing mental health literature for people in India language and promoting mental health awareness and well-being. So we welcome you, Dr. Srivastava, Amrish Srivastava, sir, as a chairperson for this technical session, concurrent technical session second. So we would like to have, sir, opening remarks from you for this concurrent technical session.
Thank you, Dr. Joshi. It's indeed a great pleasure, and my sincere thanks to Professor Dhar and Professor Nagar for giving me this opportunity to talk to the students from the city where I did my medical course. It's really nostalgic. When I came last month and met all of you, it was reliving my own memories. Having said that, there are a couple of things which are very important in this conference. And I see the list of papers which are going to be presented. And the theme of mental health and well-being cannot be discussed without considering the social turmoil that we see around us today, whether it is from global warming, or density of population, or condition of healthcare access, or education, or industrialization, urbanization, domestic life, migration, and economic changes. And it is therefore very pertinent to understand how these non-biological factors affect human psyche, affect conscious, unconscious nature, and change the nature of conflicts, bring a very different set of biological change, which people are not used to in order to find better methods to cope with. So this is, to brief, the research on social determinants of health and mental health is back in front of us, in front of all researchers. And all over the world, we are giving a fresh look as to how social factors change human behavior. And if social factors are changing human behavior, what are going to be the demands in front of politicians, planners, funders, IMF, and global funding agencies, where to put your money in the hospital or in community, in manpower development, how much will be required to do research. And further, the cultural variations are so imminent that what happens in a tragedy in Nepal is very different than what happened in when we saw Union Carbide in Bhopal. It is much different than what happened in tsunami in Chennai. And still, it is different what happened in Gujarat. There are common denominators, but if you see the outcome after 4 decades, 3 decades, and 10 decades, and you go and talk to people, you will find many people with permanent disability, with psychological overlay. You will find people 100% rehabilitated, and you will find the impact of trauma and children of survivors, children who lost their parents living with psychological problems. So, my dear friend, your challenges are immense. You have to think in very different directions in 2023, what projects to take and how to study the local psychological behavior, local science, how to translate this into an action plan for local conditions. I'm sure the papers that are going to be presented here about well-being, domestic violence, separations, migration, I see some of these papers are going to be very interesting, and wish you good luck for the session. Please, Dr. Joshi, you can continue.
Thank you very much.
Good.
So overall, sir, we have got 10 presentations and this session is about over. Before we go for a concluding, would like to have concluding remarks from our chair. So over to you, sir.
I think it's unfortunate that we could not have the question answer session because all 10 papers, they are very exciting topic. I tell you, they are very modern, very cutting edge neuroscience that we see. And if I speak a minute on some of the stuff that I have heard, very interesting presentations. The technical aspect is really interfering in a lot of interaction all over the world. So this is nothing new that we are seeing. So one should not be disappointed. And my suggestion is that all presenters should always be ready with two versions, one without technology, one with technology, and with time managed. That makes the findings look better because we have not heard much of the findings which are there in the slides of presenters. But having said that, let's begin with the spirituality and mental health, and very interesting and very modern topic, which I see a lot of publications nowadays. And when we examine a patient in America, the American Medical Association has a methodology where they have a doctor is supposed to measure spirituality. The tools are standardized, the practices, it is the standard operating procedure for a physician. Whether he does it or not is a very different issue. I would share my experience that when I worked in UK, there are chapels within the hospital, and number of occasions we have sought help from the priest and see that how spirituality is integrated into everyday care of one individual. My feeling is that researchers in India and in our place must bring new and fresh ideas. Spirituality is not an external dimension. In fact, the very first definition, way back in 1952, the WHO definition, spirituality was inserted. It was a proposal from Israel, but politically it was shot down. But when we moved on, it survived in the research. So the research definition of health has that it is physical, mental health, social, as well as spiritual. A lot of papers have, in last 10 years, have been published on reviving the concept of bringing spirituality into definition of health, and I'm sure it is going to happen very soon. So it's a very innovative, very important dimension. Why it is important is because it is so closely interlinked with the positive psychology and positive psychiatry. What we are more interested to know is that what should we do with our child rearing practices, with parental education, with hospital practices, with the school education, how can we preserve cognition? How can we not lose character, build personality, make people stronger and have robust citizen? This is where we are struggling, and spiritual and mental health is coming to a research area which is of very, very credible significance. Wisdom again is a very innovative topic. And let me share some important things that one of the, it has been thoroughly researched, and wisdom is a neurobiological construct. If you see the latest research, and fortunately, our Indian scientists have done a lot of research in America in the field of wisdom. They have been in New York Times, they have been on all kind of popular media, as well as very, very credible, authentic scientific research on thousands and thousands of patients using brain MRI, scanners, etc., to well define where is the wisdom. Now we are struggling.
Sorry, wait. Mohit Mehra, please mute yourself. Gayatri Madam, please mute yourself. Your node is active right now. Okay. Yeah, please do it. Yeah, thank you.
So we are struggling. Can we do something, bring any intervention to elevate not individual wisdom, but community wisdom? Community wisdom, community resilience, community intervention for all psychological disorders, more so those which are related to stress, abuse, and trauma, and what I like to call the daily life challenges. There is a lot of hope from neurobehavioral scientists to come. You see, it is not possible to solve the problem a diabetic person is going through because of the psychological profile, psychological complication that he goes through. Same way, the problems people face in pregnancy, in women and mental health, in field of cardiac bypass, renal transplant, etc., etc. These are real challenges which our people face. One more thing that we often in our research, we need to be more thorough in number of people whom we consult to design, to put a methodology in place, conduct research. So I think we need to look more carefully into review of literature and instruments that we use. And one important aspect that there are things which are culture bound, but there are neurobehavioral phenomena which is same in all cultures. We need to somehow delineate and find what best can be found out for how we can help a patient here, how can you help a patient in down south, how can you help a patient somewhere else. Moving from patient to people, I think our research focus, as I heard today, I think all of you have used a sample which is not morbid. They are healthy people in institutions here and there. It's not research done by mental health doctors, which is often very morbid. So it is very enlightening and refreshing to hear young people and the way research is moving in India in different institutions. It's fantastic, and my best wishes to all of you, those young researchers and faculties. I'm sure you're going to do well. So with this, I'd like to sum up my thoughts.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much to enlighten, to have a word of wisdom and final concluding remark on your side. We would like to hear you again and again. And yes, it will be our privilege to hear you again and again. So I, along with my rapporteur, Suchi Vyas, I'll take depart from yourself to join us for the plenary session and for the upcoming plenary session.
Okay.
So thank you, all of you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Joshi. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.